was talking about Kevin earlier, man. Like, he had to go to the Oscars this year, but I forgot, like, last year was when he really was going through it with that Vegas scandal. Man. See, when Kevin went to Vegas and his homeboy tried to set him up and extort him for money, thing about that was every married comic had to go through this with Kevin, you know? Because Kev goes to Vegas, he gets in trouble, you know? I don't hear nothing about it. I come home the next day, my wife knows all about it, I don't. My wife's looking at me like I was with Kevin, you know? Like, as soon as I walk in the house, here comes my wife. You see what happened to Kevin? You see what happened to Kevin? I act like I don't know what she was talking about. I go, who you talking about, Kevin Durant? You know what the I'm talking about. Don't let that happen to you, Gary. Don't let that happen to you. I was like, don't let it happen to you! But I'm glad Kevin and his wife are still together. I like Kaneko, I like Kevin, they're nice people. I don't want to see them break up over that. Just a little speed bump in the relationship, you know? But now that the time has passed and it's been over a year and stuff, now the timeline all makes sense because Kev went to Vegas, his homeboy tried to extort him for money, set him up in the hotel room, and the week before Kev went to Vegas, it had gotten published, he's the highest grossing comic in the country, he's worth like $200 million. So I remember when this first happened, and I found out Kev's worth $200 million, I was telling everybody, I go, I got a feeling his wife's gonna forgive him. I do. I think she's gonna find it in her heart to give him a second chance, man. I wish my wife was worth $200 million, man. If my wife's worth $200 million, there is nothing she can do to make me leave her, man. I'm like herpes. I might lay low. I'm gonna pop up on your ass. Ain't no cure for this. It's for life, man. Let me tell you something. If my wife's worth $200 million, I would love to see TMZ try to hand me up at the airport on some bull with their cameras out trying to up my relationship. I'd have an answer for everything. There is nothing they can say to me or show me to shake my foundation, you know? I'd be sitting in LAX waiting on my bags to come out. TMZ comes around the corners with their cameras. Shh, Gary Owen! Did you see what happened? Your wife has a sex tape out. It just got released. Have you seen it? I'd be like, who the you think taped it? All my boys be calling me up. You was gonna let your wife some other dude? She ain't him. He her. She ain't get on top, man. She me. Hey, let me tell you something. If my wife's worth $200 million, she could tell me she's going to see another dude. I wouldn't give a She could tell me, Gary, I'm going to see my friend this weekend. You tell him I said hello. If you happy, we happy. My wife could be gone for the weekend with some other dude. I'd be at the house making Instagram posts. I just want to take a second and thank my lovely wife for all she does for this family. You are the best wife, mother, friend a man could have. You have provided us with this beautiful home. You enjoy your weekend away. We will be here when you get back. Like, hashtag unbreakable.
Me and my wife got we got a small argument before I flew out here this weekend. And now it's 3 days later and I realized that it was my fault. It shouldn't have been an argument. I internalized things the wrong way, right? And sometimes I do that in our relationship. But you gotta see how our upbringings are the reason I feel that way, right? Because I grew up in a small town right outside of Cincinnati, Ohio. I didn't see a lot of black people growing up. I didn't grow up with a lot of black people, right? My wife, on the other hand, grew up in Oakland, California. Dad was into Black Panthers. She grew up with nothing but black people. So the chances of us even meeting and then eventually getting married, if you look at our upbringing, it's a slim to none, but it happened, right? So we laying in bed, it's just the other night. My wife looks over at me and she goes, Gary, sometimes I can't believe how my life turned out. Like, I can't believe I married a white guy. That's crazy to me, I married a white guy. Like, sometimes you be laying in bed asleep, and I be looking at you like, damn, I really married a white guy, you know? Like, if somebody would have told me growing up that one day I would grow up and marry a white guy, I'd have been like, you lying. I ain't gonna be married to no white guy. I know how to take that. I was like, my bad. I didn't mean to crush your dreams. What kind of bullshit is that to say to your husband? So now I'm laying in bed and I'm pissed, right? And my wife has always maintained I'm the only white guy she's ever dated. I'm the only white guy that's ever asked her out. I'm the only white guy she ever slept with. So I looked at her. I said, hey, baby, you still maintain that story? I'm the only white guy you've been with, the only one? She goes, yeah, you're the only one. I said, let me ask something down. Like, how do I rank? Like, how do I stack up, with your past? How am I doing? My wife was like, you serious? You really want me to be honest? I go, yeah, be honest. I ain't gonna be mad. Be honest. This is what my wife says to me. She goes, okay, Gary, I'm gonna be honest with you. You're not the biggest, okay? You're not. You are not the biggest, okay? But you're not the smallest either. You're not the smallest. But you're perfect for me. Nah, that don't tell me shit, ladies. It really don't. That's a hell of a goddamn window if you think about it. I mean, am I second or 35th? How many you been with? I asked my wife, I said, hey, am I the top 10 at least? Am I the top 10? She goes, you in the top 10. I was like, you been with 10? I met you 17 years ago. You was almost a hoe. You was almost a hoe. I'm not saying you were, but you was on your way. You was on your way. Listen, I don't want to give the wrong impression. I'll never leave my wife. I'll never leave her. I'll tell you why. She said something to me very profound 2 years ago that lets me know exactly where she stands in our relationship, right? We used to watch that TV show together called Breaking Bad. That was our show. We watched it every week. If for some reason you've never seen this TV show, in a nutshell, this is what the show is about. This guy, he's a school teacher in New Mexico, finds out he's got cancer, ain't got a lot of time to live, wants to make sure before he passes away, his wife and kids are taken care of financially. He's like, how can I make some money real quick? Finds out he has a gift. His gift is making crystal meth. Long story short, he becomes the bomb crystal meth maker. I'm talking like a year and a half later, he's basically running the Mexican cartel. He's got millions and millions and millions of dollars, but it's drug money. It's illegal money. Wife finds out, she wants to leave his. She wants to call the cops. He's like, no, baby, you don't understand. This ain't for me. It's you and the kids. I ain't got a lot of time left. I don't care. I'm calling the cops. I'm leaving you. I looked at my wife. I said, what if that was me, baby? What if that was me? What if you found out I got millions and millions and millions of dollars, but it's drug money. It's illegal money. Would you call the cops? Would you want to leave me? My wife said, I'm from Oakland. I facilitate the deal. I got emotional. That's the only time I called my wife a bitch in my whole life. I was like, you my ride or die bitch. I never heard a woman say facilitate before. That turned me the fuck on. Facilitate. How do you spell that word? Is that an S or a C? Facilitate. Every time I'm having sex with my wife, when I hit her from the back, that's the only thing I say. Say facilitate. Say facilitate. You better facilitate this. You better facilitate this. I'm about to facilitate that. I'm about to facilitate that. Yeah, you gonna take this top 10. You gonna take this top 10. Yeah, I'm about to facilitate that. F-A, facilitate that.